Good morning. We're at 1512 North Ewing. This is Charles with 360 Real Estate Investing in partnership with Gear Realty. House here. So walk in. Carpet in here. I see some foam here on the window. There's another in another room. Looks like some sort of injection foam. Could be for sealing up some leaks, air leaks, something else along those lines. Really hard to tell at this point. Paneling throughout the interior of this room here. Trying to see if you guys can see this here on the video. There, from the left side here up to here, there's probably a few inches worth of difference in height. So we've got sagging on the left side over here. What we're also seeing over here on the window, you can see this separation that's there. These are the original windows. So even as I walk down a little bit in the corner here, back from the side, it's definitely sloping. So there's some foundational things that we want to take a look at for sure with the property. Doesn't mean it's catastrophic, doesn't mean it's huge, but it's definitely something that we should take a look at, potentially address. We go into the front bedroom here. These are tall ceilings, which is interesting because they're in the living room. I had that tile, so that indicates to me that that was put in lower than the original ceiling. See a crack. This diagonal cracks that come down like that, those diagonal cracks are the ones that concern you a little bit more versus a vertical crack like this one. Is typically just a seam. The diagonal crack is again a potential indicator of something from a foundation perspective. We got some buckling, which looks like maybe water damage or something along those lines. And if I'm looking at the wood here on the windowsill, again, potentially some leakage in there. These original wood windows. Again, a diagonal crack right there on the window. Just pointing out everything that we want to see in here, just as a precaution. Door doesn't shut there. Again, as we take a look at it, it's sloping towards the outside as well. We'll go back into the living room area here. And here into the next room, some sort of a dining area. Again, as it over to this area, sloping down. Over to this area, center of the home is raised. Because of the paneling on here, it's going to be just not going to be able to see any kind of cracks in the walls, windows, etc., as you would normally see with plaster. This room here, guessing they're qualifying it as a bedroom, but technically speaking, it wouldn't be, or the additional rooms upstairs wouldn't be, because you'd have to pass through this room to get to it. So these basically combine. Anytime you have to pass through one, it kind of restricts you. Now, that's just from it's not even a legal standpoint, it's just from a calculation standpoint when you're talking about determining bed and bath count. Obviously for renters or even for occupants, that may not be something they're concerned about, but it is something from a resale perspective should be cognizant of. We'll go up the stairs here. There's no railing here on this. Very, very steep, very, very short. Absolutely does not meet code. Barely half my foot fits on this, on each of the risers for that. So the attic here, space that's done, been completed out. Small storage space over here. So again, this may be marketed or advertised as 3 bedrooms, but you do have to go through that one room down here at the bottom of the stairs to be able to get to this one. So functionally, it certainly poses some problems. go down these steps. Again, very steep. The risers are very thin. Without question, doesn't meet any kind of code. So what does that mean if it doesn't meet code? Well, depending on the specific city ordinance of it, the amount of renovation you do on the inside of a house might warrant having to bring something up to code. If you were to have to bring that up to code to still be usable, you're not going to have enough space here at the bottom, which means that this is going to have to come down and then come back out this way, or figure out some other configuration and get up into this space for it to be work with code. We'll go back here to the kitchen. Just in looking from here, I can visually see, again, sloping down towards that side of the house. Because of the pier and beam foundation type, it could be a very simple fix. It also could be extremely expensive. That's why we want to have somebody come take a look at it, for sure. I mean, even if I went down into the basement to take a look at this, it's not likely I could give the right diagnosis as a professional could. All right, here we are in the bathroom that's here. Again, as we get into this, just all sloping dramatically down here. So this room here is obviously an addition. It's not sealed very well here, which might speak to why it's so cold in here. It's probably insulated a little bit, if at all. This is obviously a laundry room down here. Back of the house. There's a detached garage. And the basement. Let's see what we can do about getting down here into the basement while still being safe. Ooh. All right, I'm not going to go any further. These steps down here at the bottom are not safe. Water heater actually looks pretty decent from what I can tell from this distance. Just a real small area just for mechanicals. Furnace is way back there at the back, so I can't really get a good description or good view of it. But you can see the protrusion here in the wall. You can probably see here how much that slants to the outside. It's just real concerns that I have from a structural standpoint. Definitely want to have somebody come out here and take a look at the property. I would say at minimum you're looking at a gut job on this, so just be prepared for this, any kind of offer. You want to put that in as a contingency for the type of money you might spend on this. But this neighborhood's really good, really good location. So the potential here is definitely really high for the right price and the right amount of care and upkeep on the property. Be sure to subscribe to our page, and thanks for viewing.